sure you hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and then hit that notification bell because YouTube does not like to send out notifications whenever someone posts a video. So that's that. Let's get into it. Okay, we are back today, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. Very different. We are actually going to review, I'm going to start doing some more TV shows and things like that and really expanding my content now that I've really built a solid foundation with reaction videos and things like that. I have a podcast channel coming to Spotify, and I will be dropping some of my videos on Apple Music as well, so best of both worlds. Hey, Hannah Montana. I also have some music of my own that I'm currently working on, writing, recording, obviously not recording as much as I would like to right now in the middle of a pandemic, but, yeah, I guess we're just focusing on that, and I guess just giving you guys more content, a variety of content. I'm tired of just doing reaction videos. I mean, I do discussions here and there, but, I mean, it's not enough right now, you know? I want some more. No, you want more. I want more. So let's go. Okay, today we are going to be discussing Riverdale. Mix Moscato by Nicki Minaj. Go get it. It's great. So let's start off with the first season of Riverdale, which I think is such a good season. We got to see, they did a really good job of introducing the characters, their families, where they came from, and just in the overall season, how those characters came to be themselves. You know, Riverdale did a great job unfolding everything. The suspense was there. The mystery was there. It was just chef's kiss for the first season. Congrats to the writers. You did a great job on that first season. You sold the show. It's going into 5 seasons now. You did a good job. You can't take that away from them. What I loved the most about the first season was the will they, won't they kind of vibe that they had with Barchi, which they need. That needs to happen. It has to happen. If Barchi doesn't happen, what was all of this for? Because we didn't watch Riverdale to see Veronica and Archie just slob it up in the freaking music room. That's not the tea. That's not what we want. Okay? Anyway. Okay, so once we move on from the first season to the second season, I'm not going to talk too much on the previous seasons. You know it's good. So the second season is when they started bringing in the Black Hood. They started giving little hints of the Black Hood kind of sort of in the first season. You know, they were building up for the next season. And the Black Hood storyline to me was just amazing. To me, it was so amazing because it really paid tribute to true, like, horror movies back in the day, right? It was so great, especially the with the popcorn popping, you know, the screen thing they had going on. Here for that. The suspense was there because I obviously I knew it was Betty's father. I knew her dad was the Black Hood. That's that, right? But once we got into the season, they were like, we're going to give a little hint that it might be him, but then we're going to stray off for a little bit and then just kind of distract people because at some point, I stopped thinking that it was Betty's dad. They truthfully tricked me, and I'm not an easy person to trick. So they completely moved off into a different direction. They did that first uncover, and I know better. If you are a Pretty Little Liars stan, you know that when they unveiled that Black Hood, that wasn't it. I knew it wasn't. So when they unveiled that Black Hood, it brought me back to that conclusion. I was like, I thought they did a very good job with just in general also unfolding the second season, but they added so much depth into the second season as well. I love the fact that it went from 13 episodes to like 23. They added 10 whole episodes to the season, which was crazy to me. But I liked the suspense that it really gave us because it was a build-up throughout the season. You know, the season, it got darker and darker and darker, but also at the same time, you kind of got to see where the characters went mentally, because this was just after, you know, Jason had, you know, been shot by his father, which that was like, whoa, what? Nobody saw that coming. Truthfully, did not see that coming. So you obviously already saw that there was kind of a theme going on with these families are dark. they're dark and they don't love their children. like, oh my gosh. But like, really though, they don't. Come on now. You see how Hiram treats Ronnie? That's not love. That's toxic. What? Okay. So in the second season, because they introduce Hiram, we have the Black Hood and everything going on, and then also at the same time they brought Polly back obviously, and they kind of have a dark side of Polly show up, which was kind of like, huh? Because I didn't expect that. Little sweet old Polly. I mean, I expected her to be, like a chip on her shoulder now because, come on, the love of her life died, and on top of that, it was her cousin. What? Anyway, so okay, second season, amazing, love that. First two seasons, I thought they did a very good job, especially in the second season, on building on that foundation. They built on the characters. They also introduced a lot of characters with the South Side High and things like that. They really mixed up the dynamic, especially with Archie and Jughead. Getting into the fight and then teasing those Barchie moments. Like, oh my god, and that kiss, the flavor. Anyway, can we just talk about that? It's always a teasing of Barchie. You have to stop doing that because at some point you're going to piss people off. Just like at some point you had to know having Archie and Veronica date during this entire time was gonna piss people off. Yes, they broke up. For how long? Like 4 episodes? Come on now. Personally, I don't think the chemistry between Veronica and Archie is that much of quality. Like, it's really not. I mean, I will say that Jughead and Betty do have some genuine, chemistry, but they're also dating off screen. So, it's whatever. But at the same time, I can't say but at the same time because also, Camila and, what's his name? And Charles Melton, they're both dating. Well, were dating at the time. So the chemistry was also there. I think they really have to, okay, we'll get there. We'll talk about where things are now in a minute. But let's move on to the third season. Now, going off of the Black Hood, you had to come up with something really good to top the Black Hood. And, Jason being shot by his father. You had these two big moments. You had to come up with something great. And moving back to, PLL stands Understanding Mystery, they know that you constantly had to raise the bar each season. And even though they constantly teased at Allison being alive, they switched up the dynamic with that so many times that it was interesting. But once we get to season 3 of Riverdale, it was kind of like, and mind you, Riverdale is my favorite show. Do not drag me. It is my favorite show. I love these characters. So writers, we need to, because once Riverdale went from, having a couple writers to a team of writers, all went downhill. It was the same thing kind of with How to Get Away with Murder. Once they went from a handful of writers, maybe two or three or whatever, and they went to a team, boom, West Side dropped in ratings big time, just like Riverdale was doing. But when we talk about the season 3, all you think of is G&G in the farm, which, oh my god, okay, like G&G, I'm not gonna say the idea was there, especially since D&D is, growing in popular. It was already a thing, but it's growing in popularity now. So for them to capitalize on that was a great idea, especially to get a younger audience. But the way they handled it, like the Gargoyle King, like I just can't even understand what made it click in their mind that this makes sense. What? I don't get it. I do not get it because it doesn't make sense. Okay? Mind you, favorite show, but I'm dragging them right now. Anyway, you have, okay, so here's where I think they should have gone. Okay, my mom has always said, do not complain about something and not have a solution. You must have a solution if you're going to complain, right? So, what I would have done is I would have incorporated magic at this point. We already had reached the point in season 3 where we wanted a Sabrina collab with a Riverdale. You know, we wanted a crossover there. So when you come in with the farm, which we were all like, oh, this is a cult, blah, 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 blah. The babies are floating up in the air over the fire, which makes absolutely no fucking sense at this point because there was no magic involved. So I'm just, what, like, what? Oh my god. Anyway, so, like, I would have incorporated magic. You had the farm, which could have been a cult. It could have been a cult some way tied to the world in Sabrina. That could have been a thing. But they did not make it a thing. I don't understand why. It was the perfect time for you to, especially with G and G, because it already seemed like magic. You know, like it just like to some extent in a TV show, things have to be realistic. You could have made a magical cult. You could have easily made a magical evil cult in some way, using magic for evil, like, and had like Sabrina come in and help them with this cult, you know, and things like that. Like, you could have done so much with the storyline, but you made it an Orgus harvesting cult, stealing organs. Stealing organs. And then you had the Gargoyle King. Like, oh my god. The Gargoyle King being, what was it? It was, first of all, at first it was Tall Boy, and then it being Chick, which, okay, I'll give you that. It wasn't a bad idea to have Chick be the Gargoyle King, or, you know, the evil person, blah, 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 or whatever. I just, the G and G storyline was just simply stupid. But also at the same time, with the poisons and things like that, it makes sense for it have, you know, it makes sense for it to have been Penelope Blossom, especially since she's just the Houdini with plants or whatever. So okay, like I will give them that, like that part of it makes sense, but like the overall arc in the storyline, like it just didn't make sense. What, you're coming off of what? Like you have things like incest, parents killing their children. You have the Black Hood who's trying to clear the town of all sin, and then you come in with an organ harvesting farm and a gargoyle king. Child, I can't. Anyway, before we move on, let me just go ahead and point out the fact that Riverdale's only black characters are supporting characters, okay? Josie was not a main character. Granted, they did have the Pussycat dolls, but we hardly saw them. Come on, the mayor? She was the mayor, and we hardly saw her. We don't see her now. Where did Chuck go? Let's talk about that. Monroe, barely in it. Riverdale needs more color. They need darker skinned folks in their show. And I cannot stress that enough. Where did their principal go? There was a black principal. You had a black therapist. These are supporting roles. Give them main roles. Even Tony. You have some color there, and you don't utilize her character. And with that being said, you're missing a whole audience that you could have coming into your show. Anyway, moving on, because like I said, the third season could have been handled so much better, and it made them lose a lot of their viewers, and I can't blame them. I still personally like Riverdale, but if I was a person who's genuinely just watching for quality TV and I saw that, or I just started watching Riverdale after I binged watched the first 2 seasons on Netflix, and then I ran into this on live television, I wouldn't waste my time either. Mm-mm. No, I wouldn't. But anyway, so moving on, here we are with the fourth season, and okay, the fourth season started off really good to me. I actually did not mind the storyline. I like where they went with the storyline. I didn't mind it, but what doesn't make sense to me entirely is the simple fact that they decided to go in a direction where Charles and Chick are dating, but also like in the Comic Cons they were like, you can trust Charles. Charles is blah 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 blah. Huh? So like anyway, don't know. But also at the very beginning of the season, that's when we, got some resolution with the farm. Edgar was flying off in a rocket. A rocket. And what gets me is they made that scene look so badass with oh my god, I can't. They made it look so bad with them walking down the hall with their guns and whatnot, gonna end the farm or whatever. I thought they were going into some battle or something. They're going up to the roof to stop Edgar from flying out of a rocket that he built himself. An organ harvesting farm built a rocket to fly off in for one person. Okay, okay, whatever. Anyway, so it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Okay. So anyway, moving on. We got resolution from the farm. And then we have the whole storyline with the whole voodoo doll that's going on in Cheryl's house, which was kind of like okay, that that wasn't a bad little, tiny little small thing, but they, oh my god, they drew that out so long for no reason. Like I understood to a point because Penelope Blossom is all up in the house, gaslighting Cheryl. She wants her to go crazy and lose her mind. Um, but I just didn't like the way that they brought Penelope in. It's like none of the parents even acknowledged the fact that Penelope tried to kill their children. Like it just came out so casually. No gel, no nothing. And then what didn't make sense to me, okay, because okay, she locked her in the bunker. Cheryl locked her mom in the bunker, which is fine. I would have left the bitch there to rot too. Hello, but it's she had her working for her and Veronica's little maple collaboration with the bourbon or whiskey, um, but they had her working there, and then all of a sudden Cheryl pulled out of that deal. So it's just kind of like did like what did you plan for Penelope? Like you brought no resolution to the storyline. You brought okay, Chick is in jail. Great. Where the hell you had a whole season to not only tie up loose ends from the season 3 finale where we saw them around the bonfire, which that totally made sense, which is fine. Um, but I don't understand. Like Penelope literally shot Hal. She tried to kill all the kids, and we saw no resolution from that. Like there's so many plot holes that I just can't I'm stressed. I'm stressed because this is my favorite show. I want it to be good, but when it's not good, I have to be honest. I'm not gonna lie because the suspense is there. I think that I love the characters. I love the people who play these characters. But this storyline ain't it. You can agree. I know you can agree. Even if you're a Riverdale stan, you can agree. It's not really it. But anyway, let's move on to the next thing. So we have also another storyline of Jughead potentially being dead. Again? How many times is he almost gonna die? And how many times are you gonna serve as the same storyline? Let's all wait a minute. Where were the serpents and the pretty poisons? Where were they? Where were they? Because this whole time, not even just that, the whole season, where were they? We saw Sweet Pea a total of once, and if you pay a very close attention, he's in the musical episodes for like 2 seconds with a blonde wig on. Pay attention. I just can't. Oh my gosh, like, and then the whole thing about the mind control word or whatever that they had going on to control people. If they say the word 3 times and then they lose their mind and want to kill Betty, dumb, dumb. Because you haven't introduced magic, so it doesn't make sense. Especially coming from a farm that you clearly put no association with magic. Like, that just doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know. But and I will give them their props because I do think I think the Stonewall line, the whole Stonewall Academy whole storyline, that was good. I enjoyed that. But I also always do enjoy a good rivalry, but also at the same time, it's like the same rivalry. Like, you already served me a new school that Jughead had went to already. Like, you already served me. You served me season 2 tease with the little twist to it. You know, the secondary storyline of season 2, you served as the main storyline now. Please tell me how that makes sense and why you thought that was a good idea. You, I can't. I would have actually taken Betty going to a new school. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I would have taken that. I would have taken something. I would have taken anything other than Jughead almost dying again. But I will say, there was a point in this season where I was like, Jughead's not dead. He's the narrator. Duh. But it it kind of got me. It got me to questioning. It got me to questioning at some point because towards the end of the season, that's when the episodes got better. The beginning of the season and then the end of the season, the episodes were actually good. I will tell you, they were good. They were actually good. Um, but you can tell that there were so many filler episodes that it was just kind of like, now you're just dragging the storyline. If you don't have to drag the storyline, don't. If you don't have to fulfill 23 episodes, don't. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your money. And you're draining your characters in these actors because in reality, you've gave them nothing but the same thing every season that a lot of them are bored. They're bored. They can't branch out because they're on a series. Like, this is why this time jump that's coming is needed. It is needed. Take a page from the Pretty Little Liars book because that's the kind of vibes the show gives. For the love of God, this time jump is so vital for keeping Riverdale on. And that's fine. If they want this to be their last season, that's fine. Do you? It's not my show. But what I know is, in order to keep this show going, you have to change up the dynamic. You have to give something fresh. You have to give a whole new storyline. And I think what turns a lot of people off about Riverdale is the simple fact, like, for a lot of TV shows that I've seen multiple times, I can go back to the TV show. I can go watch any season, and it's not like a whole new story. If I go watch Riverdale season 1, season 2, it's gonna build because they build the foundation of that storyline. They build off that foundation that they built in season 1. But once you get to season 3 and even season 4, they're not building on that foundation. They're giving you fresh new things, which in a way it's kind of fine, but also at the same time, like, we want to see character development. We also want to see progression, and we're not getting that. I'm not getting that. Riverdale writers, hello, hello, can you hear me? We got to do better. It's just as simple as that. And there's not too much more for me to even say on it because, come on now, y'all know, y'all have to know better. You have to know better. I just, like, I just want to know who in the writing room sat down and pitched, let's almost kill Jughead again. And everyone was like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. And let's also introduce another new school that Jughead once again goes to on his own. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I would have taken Archie going to some kind of music school or some trade school and then being bashed in the head with the rock. And then Betty realizing her true love for Archie over this season. Like, oh my god, like, put me on the writing team. Because y'all don't know what y'all are doing. And I'm not even a writer. I mean, I am, but I'm not writing a show. Ciao. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I'm angry. That's what I am. I'm angry. You see the face? I'm angry. Okay, this video is about to be 40 minutes long, probably, y'all. And I just... I'm so over it of them serving me the same thing. Because even watching Pretty Little Liars, I did not get the same thing every season. They built on that foundation that was built in season 1. There was a lot of character progression. They always switched up the dynamics. They always brought someone back that made sense in a way that was just so refreshing. Riverdale, it's kind of just like, really? Also, why is Hiram still alive? For what? For what reason? For what reason? Okay. Send him off to Katie Keene. I saw that series finale. Bye. Let him go to New York. Please. I'm literally begging. Like, I will get on my knees and beg. I can't. I literally cannot with this TV show. And it is my favorite TV show. That's why I'm so upset about it. I don't know. But I'm going to end this video now because there's not too much to say without just dragging them the rest of the video. Anyway, okay. If you enjoyed this video, you can request something below, and I will review and react to it. I've been watching a lot of TV shows, so I'm just going to end up reviewing these TV shows and going on a few rants about them. Because there are a lot of things wrong with some of these TV shows, but there are also a lot of things good about some of these TV shows. So, best of both worlds. Okay, so that's that, y'all. Until next time, okay, I'm out of here. Peace.